next on Arizona Horizon. The state's new AZ Merit test shows that 2/3 of Arizona students come up short in reading and math. Also tonight, light rail extension in Mesa will soon be in operation, and we'll check out a skateboarder turned photographer. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of 8, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Former President Jimmy Carter, who appeared on Arizona Horizon just last week, announced today that he has cancer. The 90-year-old former president released a short statement, indicated only that the cancer has spread and that he will be receiving treatment at Emory Healthcare in Atlanta. Doctors there say that Carter's age should not be a barrier to any possible treatment. Unofficial results are in for the new AZ Merit test, and they are not good. 2/3 of the students who took the test did not meet proficiency standards in reading and math. Joining us now is education advocate Pearl Chang Esau, president and CEO of Expect More Arizona. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Ted, thank you.
First of all, defining terms here, what are AZ Merit tests?
AZ Merit is the new statewide student assessment that kids took this year from grades 3 through high school. It was the first year that they took the test, and really was a part of a series of steps of setting high expectations for all children. An important move in the right direction for Arizona.
So this replaced Ames?
Yes, this test replaced Ames, and it's a different kind of a test. It really has set a higher bar for how we define proficiency for our students.
And public school students only took the test, no private school kids?
Public schools, so districts and charters.
How come private schools don't take these kinds of tests?
It's just not required by law.
Yeah, okay. So there's, and for the public school kids, tests are not mandatory, are they?
They are.
They are mandatory?
Yes.
Okay. I thought that parents could opt out.
Not right now, no.
Okay. So, all right, well, we'll move ahead then. AZ results, as we mentioned, for reading and math, don't sound all that good. 59% minimally and partially proficient in reading. These are third graders now. 67% minimally and partially proficient in math. What's going on out there?
Yeah, well, and certainly the preliminary results show that there's opportunity for improvement and ensuring that all of our children have a chance to be successful. But I think this is a really important moment for Arizona to step out and take a look at the big picture. Because the reality is that we have taken so many steps to move education in the right direction in this state. And there's been a recognition for some time now that we needed to raise our expectations for all of our children. So back in 2010, Arizona adopted a higher set of standards, and standards that were more meant to be reflective of the kinds of skills and knowledge that kids need to know in the world today. You know, the reality is that the world's changing so quickly around us. We're preparing kids for jobs that don't even exist. And so we need to be thinking about how to help kids become critical thinkers and problem solvers, and to be able to be flexible and adapt to new situations. We've taken so many steps in Arizona to take a look at our standards, raise them to that expectation, to make sure that our kids are nationally and globally competitive. The AZ Merit is just one more step as a part of that bigger picture that's now a new assessment that's designed to measure that level of proficiency.
So still, these are lower scores than Ames. Should they be lower scores than Ames?
I think you can't even compare the Ames test to this test. You know, the Ames test was really built to measure minimum proficiency. So it was designed around a floor. You know, are our students meeting basic skills? And you know, the results of that test were a little bit misleading at times, because you know, when we called students proficient, a lot of those students that were at the proficient level were then having to leave high school and still had to retake high school level courses. So the AZ Merit is designed to you know, address some of that in that the bar is set at a higher level. It's meant to show that kids are on track to be ready for their future, for college and for careers. And as a parent and as a taxpayer, you know, I want to know where our students actually stand.
So with that in mind, are these results really a surprise?
They're not. I mean, and this is where I think we have to commend Arizona's, many of our policymakers, our educators who have been working so hard. And we've recognized for some time that we needed to raise expectations for Arizona students. We've known for a long time that the results of the Ames test wasn't anywhere on par to the results of a national gold standard exam like the NAEP test. The preliminary results that AZ Merit are showing us are actually pretty similar to national assessment data that we've been receiving from tests like NAEP for years. And I think we have to acknowledge that our educators have been working incredibly hard, and our students have actually improved. And if you look at the trajectory of Ames data leading up to this year's test, which is just a different test, our students were dramatically improving on the Ames test. So that's evidence that Arizona's teachers have actually been able to move the students in the right direction.
And as far as now the ramifications of these results, I know that in the past there was talk that third graders would wind up having to be held back if they didn't get to a certain level. There would be letter grades for schools that reflect the results of these tests. Is any of that happening now, or is that kind of on hold? What's going on there?
So last legislative session, there was a recognition that there's a lot of change happening right now, and we want to honor this transition that teachers are making. You know, that we've adopted new standards, we've raised the bar, we have a new assessment, and we wanted to honor that time period, and as a result there was legislation that was passed that actually put the letter grades on hold. And so that is not happening this year. Student test data will still be released, but they will not be assigned to a letter grade or used for those kinds of purposes.
When does that start?
It's a 2-year transition period. And actually the state board is on Friday taking a look at what we're going to do with move on when reading, because that is another question. But I really have to say, I mean, the most important thing we can possibly do is make sure that we are recruiting and retaining the very best teachers we can in Arizona, because standards in an assessment without a high quality teacher in place doesn't get us anywhere.
How do we do that? How do we keep these teachers? How do we attract them? How do we keep them?
Well, I think we need to look at you know, how we can do a better job of creating a culture where teachers feel supported, where they feel respected. Funding is an issue. You know, we've had a resource challenge in the state for the last few years. So, you know, salary is a part of it. And I think the best we can do is look at what our effective educators are doing, especially in low-income communities, and learn from them.
So last question, these tests, obviously the initial results, not the best here, especially when it comes to reading and math, and we understand it's a new test, just the changing of the test itself is going to affect the scores. But when can we start getting these results, seeing improvements, or not having caveats for non-improvement?
Right, well the first year is always going to be a transition year whenever you have change. But I would say even looking at the second and the third year, you know, the second year there might continue to be some readjusting. But as soon as we have some more time to look at the trend data, I think that's going to be really helpful for us. But what we would advise for parents and educators as they're seeing this is not to be alarmed. You know, to embrace the information that this test is giving us as an indicator of how our students are doing in their readiness for the next grade and for college and career. We want the most accurate information that we can have.
All right, very good. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Light rail is scheduled to be up and operational in downtown Mesa later this month. The extension means changes in mass transit schedules and changes in Mesa. Here now is the city's Vice Mayor, Dennis Kavanaugh. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ted.
Good to see you again. Now, when will this extension actually open?
Well, believe it or not, it's opening 7 months early, ahead of schedule, on budget, on August 22nd.
August 22nd. And now where will the new track go?
The new track is going to be extending from the existing station at Dobson, the Sycamore station, over to just past Mesa Drive. So it's about a 3.1 mile extension.
So 3.1 miles, how many more, I'm getting, what, 4 more stops there? Am I reading that right?
4 new stations, yes.
Okay.
And they will be at Alma School Country Club Center and at Mesa Drive.
And how about park and ride areas? What do we got?
We'll be adding, right now we have a large park and ride at Sycamore Station of about 800 spaces. We'll be adding another large one at Mesa Drive, which will have 500 spaces.
And 500, huh?
Yes.
And these park and rides are just basically anyone and their brother can park there and just jump on the light rail and spend all day and come back and pick up your car and go.
Makes it pretty easy.
Yeah. New riders, how many expected?
About 5,000.
Per day?
Per day, yes.
And do we know who these riders are going to be?
Well, based on our existing demographics, it's a whole lot of folks, a lot of students, a lot of people going to events downtown, Tempe, or into Phoenix, people just going to work, commuting, people going to doctor's appointments. It's ridership during the day is really very consistent, even outside of rush hour. That was a big surprise to us in analyzing the ridership throughout the years, but it's a very good cross-section of society.
And as far as the costs now for this extension, what are we looking at?
It was $199 million.
So just below 200.
Just below 200.
Yes, okay. And how funded?
It's a combination of federal and state funds. This particular project was 60% federal funded and 40% local regional money.
The importance to downtown Mesa, the importance to Mesa in general, but this, because we hear criticism all the time, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. The businesses that are there suffer through so much construction they can never survive. What are you seeing out there? I know what you want to see, but realistically, are those criticisms valid?
Not really, because what light rail does throughout the country, what it's done in the valley, what it will do for Mesa, it increases connectivity. And for us, particularly in Mesa, it increases connectivity to our arts and cultural institutions in downtown Mesa, the 3 museums, the Mesa Arts Center. It increases access, connectivity to educational institutions, 4 colleges that are in downtown. It creates connections to our Mesa Convention Center, adds additional support and connection to go to spring training. So for us, it really opens up a lot of possibilities for connecting people from the rest of the valley to downtown Mesa.
In addition to connectivity, we always hear when light rail is discussed, development and development plans are always a factor there. What do you think?
Economic development is really a key factor on any light rail line. I think we just released an analysis here in the valley showing there's been about $8.2 billion of investment along the original 20-mile segment. And we've anticipated now about $90 million of new investment along the Central Mesa extension. And we think that trend will continue. We're looking to see new housing. We already have new housing coming in downtown. Hopefully other kinds of businesses occupying space that's vacant or underused. We think it will strengthen our historic neighborhoods there as well. But housing is one of the things that we expect to see happen.
Well, I was going to say, because in Tempe and in Phoenix as well, they've learned that it really helps to get residents down there near the light rail in a downtown area. Are there plans? Can we see construction here relatively soon?
Right. You'll see we had new housing open last year in downtown at Center and First Avenue that's already undergoing an expansion. We've had a lot of interest from other developers on sites downtown that are vacant. For example, Brown & Brown Chevrolet is a very large parcel that's vacant now. And so that provides a lot of opportunity for new housing there. You're getting interest in rehabbing the houses in the historic neighborhood. The areas just south of Main Street, I think, offer a lot of opportunities for some new housing there. But we're getting inquiries from people who are interested in doing loft housing, that sort of typical urban type of housing that you see with retail and offices.
What are you hearing from the businesses down there? How'd they do during construction?
Well, we learned a lot from the first 20-mile extension, and we learned that you really have to have rapid response teams to work with businesses that might have a driveway blocked or power off. And so we engaged them from the very beginning on where the station should go, what the design should be. And so I think a lot of them took ownership interest in the project. And overall, I think if you ask them, they've survived. They're looking forward to the opening. they've had a lot of say in how the construction has gone. And I think that's helped. That's going to help us for further expansion.
Let's talk about further expansion. What's in the plans? What's in the cards here?
Well, light rail always takes a long time. The segment we're opening on the 22nd took 8 years, but we've been working on yet another expansion to past Gilbert Road, and that is the work is underway on that, and that should be complete by the end of 2018.
And Gilbert, is that another 3 miles, 5 miles? How far is that now?
It's about another 3.
Another
2 to
3?
3, yeah.
2 to 3? For those who say, and again, we have so many debates on this program about light rail and mass transit, and they will say that it's wiser and less costly to use buses over light rail. Just use buses. They're more portable. You don't have to, to build all this concrete, this infrastructure. It would make much more sense economically, and it would serve citizens better to emphasize buses and quit spending so much on light rail. How do you respond?
Well, light rail works really well when you have dense populations. The buses are an integral part of that. You can't have a successful light rail without a very strong bus system, as well as the circulator network as well. We've seen that at the Sycamore station in Mesa, and so really it's a symbiotic relationship between bus and rail. Oftentimes what you'll see in communities is that the bus service will increase, your population will keep getting denser, you might have buses going guideways, and ultimately as your population grows you can replace that much easier with light rail.
Interesting. Last question. You've been in Mesa a long time. You've seen that city in a variety of different ways. I would say 15 to 20 years ago, Mesa would be the last city in the valley people would think would even want or consider light rail. Are you surprised?
Well, 15 to 20 years ago, I was one of those people advocating for light rail, and I'm pleasantly happy that it's come this far. We've had kind of a great community energy involved in mass transit. A lot of millennials have really become engaged in the process. A lot of people like me, baby boomers, have suddenly realized that, hey, for whatever reason, I might not be able to drive in the future, but I'm still going to be working and being active. And I've got to have ways to get around, and so it's an interesting combination of forces that have moved it forward. All
right. Well, the grand opening again is the 22nd of August. I'm sure you'll be out there. Good luck with that, and congratulations on getting a vibrant downtown back up and operational.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you. Tonight's edition of Arizona Art Beat looks at a young photographer with a unique look at the streets of Phoenix. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Langston Fields introduce us to John Carbis and his Odyssey.
Photographer John Carbis has put his heart and soul into his work.
This is basically about the last 2 years of my life and my exploration through the city and striving to create artwork that is original and different than anything else.
His journey has culminated in his very first exhibition. 2015, A Phoenix Odyssey captures the raw and gritty underbelly of Phoenix.
I'm inspired by the city and being in the surroundings of this city. That's where I feel at home with everything happening around me.
It's not like really blinding.
Carbis was discovered by Boca Gallery's curator, Nicole Royce. Royce says she loves to feature up-and-coming artists because while the work is good, it's not as polished as more seasoned artists.
I love that it's showing that raw beauty that Phoenix offers that people really don't know about because he's looking a little bit deeper.
Carbis's photos are all captured at the golden hour and create a palette where you can almost feel the heat of the sun.
In order for me to get achieve the color that you're seeing in these images, the lighting is very important, and basically all of these images are created within probably the last 20 minutes of sunlight, and that is incredibly important to bring out the color that you're seeing.
He's also employing a technique that most photographers are not, leaving the image untouched by a post-production process.
My camera has a multiple exposure function, so I can basically put my camera into this mode to where I can take either 2 or 3 photographs in succession, and they are combined into one image immediately.
He's using that double exposure, that triple exposure option in your camera and really working with the current light situation, his subject, what's happening in the landscape, and he's able to really do that successfully because the pictures are showing excellent color, shadows, pattern, textures. They're really well done photographs.
Carbis is self-taught, and much of what he photographs are buildings he would see while skateboarding around the city. He purposely looked for areas that most people would avoid. Another way Carbis is making a name for himself is through social media.
Instagram is a good way to show my work without anything else. It's just very image driven, as opposed to like maybe Facebook, where there's so much other stuff going on. It's very blunt and to the point. It's just your images. So that's really what I like about it most. And it's a good way to get my work out there for other people who I might not know to see my work.
Royce says it's easy to connect with photographs because they show us what's around us at that moment. And Carbis adds it's the uniqueness that makes the work relatable.
When I think about the art that moves me the most, it's something that's different and original, whether that's music, paintings, photography. What moves me is originality. I think that speaks volumes to a person's soul, really.
Carbis's work is on display through August 30th at Boca Gallery on Roosevelt Row.
We want to hear from you. Submit your questions, comments, and concerns via email at arizonahorizon@asu.edu.
Thursday on Arizona Horizon, we will find out how police have helped clean up a crime-ridden Phoenix area. That's at 5:30 on the next Arizona Horizon. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Arizona Artbeat is made possible in part by the Flynn Foundation, supporting the advancement of arts and culture in Arizona.